Hey guys, welcome back. I'm so happy that I actually am doing a video right now. So recently I decided I was going to try something new where I make a video every 2 days. So the chapters that we're doing today, I read last night, meditated on them, prayed, did my normal stuff. And then today I'm now doing the recording of these chapters. So I'm trying to do it this way because it's just how I'm able to do it right now, unfortunately. I would love to, kind of keep going every day as best as I can, but I'm doing these videos every day, but it's very difficult with the way that my life is right now. So I'm trying this new thing where I study and read the chapters one night, and then the next night I do the recording of the video with you guys. So hopefully this will be a better routine. I almost didn't make a video though tonight because it's hot and there's no airflow in my closet, and the AC is not on because we're waiting for someone to fix it. My husband went to school for HVAC, but I guess there's some kind of like law or something where he can't work on it. I don't know why. It's like because it's your own unit, or because he doesn't have a job yet where he works as HVAC. I don't know. There's a reason he can't do anything with it. And so we're waiting through the warranty for someone to come, and they're backed up. So no AC. And I was like, oh my goodness, I do not want to sit in my closet for 30 plus minutes and pray and make a Bible video. But then I was like, you know what? If I wait to do these videos when things are comfortable and good, I'll never finish. And sometimes it's not comfortable doing things for God. Sometimes it's not easy or comfortable, and it's difficult, to do things for God and His kingdom. Sometimes sharing the gospel or talking about Jesus and the Bible and things with people is not comfortable. Sometimes, there's street preachers out there who are in really uncomfortable positions, or it's hot out, or they have to walk a lot, or have uncomfortable, difficult conversations with people. But, God never promised that it was going to be cushy and comfy all the time. And sometimes doing the right thing is hard and not easy. So I thought about it and I was like, oh man, I can't just not make a video because I'll be hot and sweaty for a little while. I mean, that's such a terrible excuse to put off continuing in this journey and sharing my journey with you guys. Like, I'm a little sweaty and hot. Like, that's such a terrible excuse. Like, when God came here and through Jesus, like, Jesus went through a lot of uncomfortable and hard and difficult things, like way more than we do on a regular basis. Like, we're spoiled and privileged and blessed. And so I was like, oh my goodness, like that's so just, it's almost like, feels like disrespectful to God. It's like, I can't even bother to be a little uncomfortable and hot and sweaty for a little bit to continue doing this project that God has asked me to do for Him, in reading the Bible and sharing my journey and sharing my thoughts and doing this task. Like, come on. So I was like, I gotta do it. I can't, I gotta do it. I gotta be more disciplined. I have to try harder. And I have to be okay with sometimes being uncomfortable. And because that's how it is sometimes. So, yeah. Anyways, well, just in case there's any newcomers before we start today's chapters, welcome. My name is Sarah. I have been reading the Bible, I don't know, for like a year and a half now. God beautifully guided me to sharing my journey with reading the Bible from start to when we'll get to the finish line eventually. We're getting close. We have a few more months. Yeah, he just guided me to share my journey, to share what it's really been like bringing God into my life, getting to know him, reading the Bible for the first time, what it's really actually been like on a day-to-day basis, what I've been going through, what are my thoughts, what are my questions, what am I struggling with. And so that's what I've been doing. And if you want to read along with me from the beginning, great. Just remember that to read the comments, because there have been people who have been helping me along the way in the comments. So make sure you check those out, because they're actually helping me understand the verses and chapters and along the way. So welcome, and check out my playlist. It's on my channel. Day 1 and 2 are the only days that don't have the recording of the chapters. You'll need to look those up yourself. There's free Bible apps. If you want a physical Bible, pray about it. God will guide you to one. And then just start praying, start reading the Bible, and seeking God out with your whole heart, and he will take you from there. So good luck, and I would say I'll be seeing you, but that doesn't make no sense. I don't know why I wanted to say that. I guess it's because if you do start from the beginning, you're going to see me in all my videos. So I don't know. Anyways, let's get into today's chapters.
Saying, "Prophesy to us, Christ, who is the one who struck you?" Now Peter sat outside in the courtyard, and a servant girl came to him, saying, "You also were with Jesus of Galilee." But he denied it before them all, saying, "I do not know what you are saying." And when he had gone out to the gateway, another girl saw him and said to those who were there, "This fellow also was with Jesus of Nazareth." But again he denied with an oath, "I do not know the man." And a little later, those who stood by came up and said to Peter, "Surely you also are one of them, for your speech betrays you." Then he began to curse and swear, saying, "I do not know the man." Immediately a rooster crowed, and Peter remembered the word of Jesus, who had said to him, "Before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times." So he went out and wept bitterly. When morning came, all the chief priests and elders of the people plotted against Jesus to put him to death. And when they had bound him, they led him away and delivered him to Pontius Pilate, the governor. Then Judas, his betrayer, seeing that he had been condemned, was remorseful and brought back the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and elders, saying, "I have sinned by betraying innocent blood." And they said, "What is that to us? You see to it." Then he threw down the pieces of silver in the temple and departed, and went and hanged himself. But the chief priests took the silver pieces and said, "It is not lawful to put them into the treasury, because they are the price of blood." And they consulted together and bought with them the potter's field to bury strangers in. Therefore that field has been called the Field of Blood to this day. Then was fulfilled what was spoken by Jeremiah the prophet, saying, "And they took the 30 pieces of silver, the value of him who was priced, whom they of the children of Israel priced, and gave them for the potter's field, as the Lord directed me." Now Jesus stood before the governor, and the governor asked him, saying, "Are you the king of the Jews?" Jesus said to him, "It is as you say." And while he was being accused by the chief priests and elders, he answered nothing. Then Pilate said to him, Do you not hear how many things they testify against you? But he answered him not one word, so that the governor marveled greatly. Now at the feast, the governor was accustomed to releasing to the multitude one prisoner whom they wished. And at that time, they had a notorious prisoner called Barabbas. Therefore, when they had gathered together, Pilate said to them, "Whom do you want me to release to you, Barabbas or Jesus, who is called Christ?" For he knew that they had handed him over because of envy. While he was sitting on the judgment seat, his wife sent to him, saying, "Have nothing to do with that just man, for I have suffered many things today in a dream because of him." But the chief priests and elders persuaded the multitudes that they should ask for Barabbas and destroy Jesus. The governor answered and said to them, "Which of the two do you want me to release to you?" They said, "Barabbas." Pilate said to them, "What then shall I do with Jesus, who is called Christ?" They all said to him, "Let him be crucified." Then the governor said, "Why? What evil has he done?" But they cried out all the more, saying, "Let him be crucified." When Pilate saw that he could not prevail at all, but rather that a tumult was rising, he took water and washed his hands before the multitude, saying, "I am innocent of the blood of this just person. You see to it." And all the people answered and said, "His blood be on us and on our children." Then he released Barabbas to them, and when he had scourged Jesus, he delivered him to be crucified. Then the soldiers of the governor took Jesus into the praetorium and gathered the whole garrison around him. And they stripped him and put a scarlet robe on him. When they had twisted a crown of thorns, they put it on his head, and a reed in his right hand. And they bowed the knee before him and mocked him, saying, "Hail, King of the Jews!" Then they spat on him and took the reed and struck him on the head. And when they had mocked him, they took the robe off him, put his own clothes on him, and led him away to be crucified. Now as they came out, they found a man of Cyrene, Simon by name. Him they compelled to bear his cross. And when they had come to a place called Golgotha, that is to say, place of a skull, they gave him sour wine mingled with gall to drink. But when he had tasted it, he would not drink. Then they crucified him and divided his garments, casting lots, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet. They divided my garments among them, and for my clothing they cast lots. Sitting down, they kept watch over him there, and they put up over his head the accusation written against him: "This is Jesus, the King of the Jews." Then 2 robbers were crucified with him, one on the right and another on the left. And those who passed by blasphemed him, wagging their heads and saying, "You who destroy the temple and build it in 3 days, save yourself. If you are the Son of God, come down from the cross." Likewise, the chief priests also, mocking with the scribes and elders, said, "He saved others. Himself he cannot save. If he is the King of Israel, let him now come down from the cross, and we will believe him. He trusted in God. Let him deliver him now, if he will have him. For he said, 'I am the Son of God.'" Even the robbers who were crucified with him reviled him with the same thing. Now from the 6th hour until the 9th hour, there was darkness over all the land. And about the 9th hour, Jesus cried out with a loud voice, saying, "Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani?" That is, my God, why have you forsaken me?" Some of those who stood there, when they heard that, said, "This man is calling for Elijah." Immediately, one of them ran and took a sponge, filled it with sour wine, and put it on a reed, and offered it to him to drink. The rest said, "Let him alone. Let us see if Elijah will come to save him." And Jesus cried out again with a loud voice, and yielded up his spirit. Then behold, the veil of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom, and the earth quaked, and the rocks were split, and the graves were opened, and many bodies of the saints who had fallen asleep were raised. And coming out of the graves after his resurrection, they went into the holy city and appeared to many. So when the centurion and those with him who were guarding Jesus saw the earthquake and the things that had happened, they feared greatly, saying, "Truly this was the Son of God." And many women who followed Jesus from Galilee, ministering to him, were there looking on from afar, among whom were Mary Magdalene, Mary the mother of James and Joses, and the mother of Zebedee's sons. Now when evening had come, there came a rich man from Arimathea, named Joseph, who himself had also become a disciple of Jesus. This man went to Pilate and asked for the body of Jesus. Then Pilate commanded the body to be given to him. When Joseph had taken the body, he wrapped it in a clean linen cloth and laid it in his new tomb, which he had hewn out of the rock. And he rolled a large stone against the door of the tomb and departed. And Mary Magdalene was there, and the other Mary sitting opposite the tomb. On the next day, which followed the day of preparation, the chief priests and Pharisees gathered together to Pilate, saying, "Sir, we remember, while he was still alive, how that deceiver said, 'After 3 days I will rise.' Therefore command that the tomb be made secure until the 3rd day, lest his disciples come by night and steal him away, and say to the people, 'He has risen from the dead.' So the last deception will be worse than the first." Pilate said to them, "You have a guard. Go your way, make it as secure as you know how." So they went and made the tomb secure, sealing the stone and setting the guard. Now after the Sabbath, as the first day of the week began to dawn, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary came to see the tomb. And behold, there was a great earthquake, for an angel of the Lord descended from heaven and came and rolled back the stone from the door and sat on it. His countenance was like lightning, and his clothing as white as snow. And the guards shook for fear of him and became like dead men. But the angel answered and said to the women, "Do not be afraid, for I know that you seek Jesus who was crucified. He is not here, for he is risen, as he said. Come, see the place where the Lord lay, and go quickly and tell his disciples that he is risen from the dead, and indeed he is going before you into Galilee. There you will see him. Behold, I have told you." So they went out quickly from the tomb with fear and great joy, and ran to bring his disciples word. And as they went to tell his disciples, behold, Jesus met them, saying, "Rejoice." So they came and held him by the feet and worshipped him. Then Jesus said to them, "Do not be afraid. Go and tell my brethren to go to Galilee, and there they will see me." Now while they were going, behold, some of the guard came into the city and reported to the chief priests all the things that had happened. When they had assembled with the elders and consulted together, they gave a large sum of money to the soldiers, saying, "Tell them, his disciples came at night and stole him away while we slept. And if this comes to the governor's ears, we will appease him and make you secure." So they took the money and did as they were instructed. And this saying is commonly reported among the Jews until this day. Then the 11 disciples went away into Galilee, to the mountain which Jesus had appointed for them. When they saw him, they worshipped him, but some doubted. And Jesus came and spoke to them, saying, "All authority has been given to me in heaven and on earth. Go therefore and make disciples of all the nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all things that I have commanded you. And lo, I am with you always, even to the end of the age." Amen.
So, before I forget, I didn't quite understand the Elijah part. Like when he said that stuff in the other language. And then some people were like, oh, he's calling out to Elijah. He's calling to Elijah to come save him. I didn't understand that part because I was like, Elijah was just a human. Like, so I was a little confused on that part. And then when the veil, it said the veil had been torn in two or separated or something. Like, does the Bible talk about that more? Is there more that's said about that? Or like, do people see the veil being torn? Like, I don't understand. It's very fascinating. And then all I can think about is like, could you imagine having the power to stop all that, but choosing not to because you know that you are, how do I say this? You're allowing that to happen because you know that it's a temporary, pain and suffering. It's not forever. And that pain and suffering is going to equal such goodness for so many people. It's just like, just like I was saying at the beginning of my video, we don't even like to be uncomfortable, let alone go through really difficult times for the betterment of other people. Like, if you've been following along recently, I said I was going through a really hard time, but I didn't say what was going on. So basically, my living situation can be very stressful at times. And recently it was very, very stressful. And my husband and I we just wanted to leave. We just didn't want to deal with it anymore. It was just really stressful. And we literally just wanted to separate ourselves and just move out and just be done with it. And I kept praying about it and begging God, please. I knew he wanted me to stay here for a little while longer. Like, it's not time for us to leave yet. But I was like, man, like, I don't want to do this anymore. It's hard and it's difficult and it's stressful and it's just so hard and sometimes. And but then I realized that God's asking me to go through this temporary hard time for the goodness in the end of everyone involved in the hard time. Like, God is using me and my husband being here to help us, to help hit the other people in this house for a variety of reasons. And sometimes it is really difficult and it is stressful, but God would not be allowing us to go through this if it wasn't for a very good reason, and that it was going to be in all of our benefits in the end. Sometimes you have to go through a little suffering. When people work out, a lot of people will say that especially if you have a hard workout, it's not fun while you're working out. Like, and sometimes they have to just rely on being disciplined to work out because they don't want to get up. They don't want to get up early and work out, or they're tired or whatever. But, the results they get from that is at the end of the workout, they feel so much better. They're happier with their bodies. They feel better physically. Studies have shown that people who exercise regularly, it can boost your serotonin levels. So, that's just an example, but there's so many examples out there, like where sometimes, you know, you have to do something hard or uncomfortable, um, but it's for a good reason. It's for something good. God doesn't just allow you to like suffer and go through things for the heck of it. He only allows you to go through hard things for good reasons. And sometimes it's also just to teach you something. You know, my daughter, there's some times where she's trying to do something and I don't help her because she needs to learn how to help herself. I'm not cruel about it, but it's like if she's trying to open something and I know she can do it, but she's kind of like looking to me to just do it for her. No. She needs to learn how to figure things out and do them on her own and not just rely on me to do everything for her. She needs to learn how to be a self-sufficient adult because, God forbid, what if I died tomorrow? What if I died in a few years? You know, like, I mean, I know she'll have my husband, but you get what I'm saying. Well, it's our job as parents to teach our children to be self-sufficient, independent, and like able to survive and live and do things. You know, it's good to critically think. It's good to know how to do things yourself. It's okay to ask for help sometimes, but it shouldn't be like, you shouldn't be abusing that. You shouldn't be like, just, what's the word? Like, not knowing how or wanting to try to do anything for yourself. You know, like that's not good. Anyways, I digressed, sorry. But I just, if you really like sit and think about what Jesus did and how he and God, you know, allowed that to happen, because they were even telling him like, hey, call on people or whoever. I think they said angels, I'm not sure. Call on your God to help you and save you if you truly are the son of God or whatever. Sorry if I don't always get the terminology correct. I'm reading the Bible, but I'm still very like, I have a lot to learn and understand. But I mean, it truly just shows like how much God cares about us. You know, he sacrificed himself for us, you know. It's just amazing. It's just quite incredible. I mean, he could have created us and then realized how evil and horrible we are and then just been like, I'll let you guys just figure that out on your own. Or he could have just, I don't want to deal with that. Or he could have just let us, you know, just have the devil just take over and be like, But no, he didn't do that. He was like, no, I created you guys and I love you guys, and so I'm going to do this to give you guys the choice to choose me and choose eternal life with me and choose to follow me. It's just quite amazing. The more and more you think about it and sit with it, it's like, and like really just sit with what Jesus did and like all the components of it. It's very, very amazing. And it's yeah, we have a great God, and we're very blessed to have been created by him. That's all I'm going to say today, or the rest of what I'm going to say. Okay, guys, I'm sweating like a pig. I'm going to go. It is very hot in this room. There's no airflow or fan or nothing. So I will see you guys tomorrow for some more chapters, and good night.